My sister fabricated evidence of my affairs, and I lost everything. But after 6 years, I, 45 meters, was married to my high school sweetheart, Rachel, 45F. We have 4 daughters together: Lauren, 24F, Madison, 22F, Olivia, 21F, and Ashley, 18F. Our love story began in freshman year when we were both 14. I still remember the first time I saw her in our English class. She had dropped her books, and I helped her pick them up. It was like something out of a teen movie, but it was our reality. My parents, Robert, 68 meters, and Pamela, 66F, loved Rachel from the moment they met her. She was the daughter they never had. Even in those early dating years, Mom would invite her over for Sunday dinners and teach her our family recipes. Dad treated her like his own daughter, always giving us guided our relationship for decades. Each of my daughters hold special memories that make this separation even more painful. Lauren, our eldest, was my shadow in her early years. I remember spending countless weekends teaching her to ride a bike in the park near our house. She was determined to learn without training wheels, just like the older kids. When she finally succeeded, her proud smile lit up the entire neighborhood. Now she's a successful lawyer, just like she always dreamed of being. Madison, our creative soul, turned our garage into her art studio when she was 15. I helped her set it up, building easels and organizing her supplies. We spent an entire summer converting that space, and it became her sanctuary. She painted a family portrait that hung in our living room. It was her first major piece. I wonder if it's still there. Olivia's soccer games were the highlight of my weekends. I never missed a single one until I was forced to miss them all. I can still hear her excited voice when she called me at work to tell me about making the varsity team as a freshman. I was the one who taught her to play, spending hours in the backyard practicing penalty kicks. She always said I was her lucky charm at games. And Ashley, my tech-savvy youngest, she was my little coding buddy. We built her first computer together when she was just 10. She was so excited to learn programming that we'd stay up late into the night working on simple games. She had this idea for an app that would help kids learn math through puzzles. We were halfway through developing it when everything fell apart. The early years of our marriage were magical but challenging. When we found out Rachel was pregnant with Lauren during our senior year, we were terrified but excited. Instead of going straight to college, I took a job at a local manufacturing company while taking night classes. Rachel finished her degree part-time while raising Lauren. We lived in a tiny one-bedroom apartment, barely making ends meet, but we were happy. Those years taught us resilience and teamwork. But there was always one shadow over our happiness: my younger sister, Jamie, 43F. The signs were there from the beginning, but I was too trusting to see them clearly. Even in high school, Jamie would find excuses to be around us. She'd offer to drive Rachel home when I had basketball practice, or she'd coincidentally show up at our favorite diner during our date nights. Jamie had a pattern of obsessive behavior that I now recognize. Before Rachel, she fixated on her middle school teacher, writing her letters and following her to the grocery store. Our parents brushed it off as a harmless crush. In high school, she became obsessed with a girl in her class, creating elaborate stories about their relationship when they had barely spoken. Again, it was dismissed as teenage drama. The first major red flag appeared when Rachel and I got engaged. Jamie didn't just disapprove. She went into a rage. She showed up at Rachel's workplace, causing a scene that almost got her fired. She was screaming about how they were meant to be together, how I had stolen her from Rachel. Rachel was terrified. She immediately told me everything, and that's when I first seriously considered cutting ties with Jamie. But my parents intervened. They convinced us that Jamie needed help, not rejection. We spent months in family therapy sessions. Jamie seemed to improve, apologized, and appeared to accept our relationship. She even gave a touching speech at our wedding, though I now wonder if it was all part of her long-term plan. Over the years, Jamie worked her way deeper into our lives. She got me a job at her company, positioned herself as the favorite aunt to our daughters, and became a constant presence at family gatherings. She was particularly close to Lauren and Madison, often buying them expensive gifts and taking them on special outings. I thought she was just being a good aunt, making up for her past behavior. Looking back, I can see how she systematically built trust with every member of my family. She helped my parents with their finances, assisted Rachel with her career networking, and was always there when anyone needed help. She created an image of herself as the reliable, stable sister in contrast to my busy schedule and frequent business trips. The business trips were necessary for my career growth, but Jamie used them against me. She would tell Rachel things like, "Mike's always away, but I'm here if you need anything." She volunteered to help with home repairs and school events when I was traveling. At the time, I was grateful for her help. Now I see it was all part of her manipulation. 6 years ago, everything fell apart. I had been away on a week-long business trip to our company's West Coast office.